I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Yeah. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Yeah.
Back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean.
Revolution machine.
For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty.
Edison, New Jersey.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty. Let's roll.
Edison. I want to talk about Edison.
Let's talk about it.
Woohoo!
That should happen.
What do you want to talk about?
Edison.
What do you want to talk about?
Edison.
Edison. Let's talk.
Edison. I've made this clear. I'm not repeating myself.
Woo! Come on, guys. Get your shit together in Edison. Come on, guys. Get your shit together in Edison. Come on, guys. Get it together in Edison. Come on, guys.
I love spoken word songs.
Come on,
There's
guys.
the greatest thing is life.
Come on, guys. Get your shit together, Edison. What is wrong with you? You're a bunch of commies. I don't know what you are, but you're stupid. You really smell.
Oh,
you
yeah?
stink up the council. Edison, you stink. I don't really like you. You really make me mad. I don't really like you, Edison. You really make me mad. I don't really like you, Edison. You make me so mad. I want to go back to every council meeting and talk about Sam Joshy's penis. I don't want to talk about Sam Joshy's penis anymore.
I don't want to talk about that at all.
I don't want to hear about it.
So wait. Who's pulling a Marjorie Taylor Greene and talking about dicks on political floors?
I just read Sam Joshy's police report. I need to know more about this.
That thing. That gave me acid reflux. That was disgusting.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's
shocking.
Politics, I don't know. It's pretty gross to hear. It's pretty disappointing. But I think we've definitely seen worse out of public officials. Doesn't make it all right, but I think we've gotten used to it to a certain extent. But how long ago did that happen?
2022, and they're calling him Sam. Instead of Sam Joshi, it's Sam Puffy Combs.
Oh no, we can do better than that. Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm seeing here.
No. Okay,
can we do better?
I mean, he roofied a woman, right? That's what it said.
It looks like it's alleged that that's what happened. Yeah,
Sam Roofy Jones. Just call him that. Just Sam Roofy Jones. There, done. It synergizes very well. It doesn't beat around the bush, and or Sleepy Jones. Call him Sleepy Jones.
Man, 6 months we got to talk about this guy's penis, really? Oh, gosh.
I don't want. I like that. I like that though. It's just like, this guy's being accused of rape. Pull out your dick. What? Let me see your dick. Why? Why? I feel this is. I feel like I may have done. I'm not saying I did anything wrong, but I feel sexually harassed right now. I'd feel sexually harassed if I were any situation like that where they're talking about something of that general of a subject. If I'm being accused of something like that, don't go right to like, okay, show me the unit that you used. You're being accused of using in this heinous act. I'd say get a warrant.
Whip it out, Joshi.
Yeah, if you get a warrant, I will. I please put me in that scenario in my life where they have to get a warrant for me to pull down my pants and expose myself.
Mm.
God, then I'll have to really wonder where I am in my life.
What is going on in Edison? Aren't they have no shame?
It doesn't seem so. I don't seem to have any. No.
You have like three council people that are like reasonable. Brescher, Harris, and Patil. And then the rest of them are just like insane. They're literally insane. They walked back an apology. Okay, they apologized online. Joshi apologized. He retracted everything. He says, "I'm sorry." Patel apologized, retracted. "I'm sorry." And in those apologies on both of them, they disabled the comments. So their apologies for violating the First Amendment really meant nothing because they violated the First Amendment in their apology. You guys are idiots. That's a public page. That's our page. We can comment on it. They took our comments away. These guys are idiots. That's how bad they are. They don't even realize how dumb they are.
Well, yeah, I think it definitely idiocy plays it, but I think it's really just immoral. Like, if you're going to come out and admit wrongdoing, you should, answer. You have to answer some questions. You have to explain yourself to a degree. You don't get to come out and just say, oh God, what's his name? Passion, no, you don't get to make a Mel Gibson apology. You don't get to do that. Those don't work. Those don't fly. You have to be Mel Gibson to do that. You can't just come out and say, "I apologize that you took offense to the thing that I did.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate that you feel the way that you do.
Sorry if your butt hurt.
And I hope we can move on and just acknowledge that I'm being the bigger person here." That's the Mel Gibson apology right there.
That's the Joshi apology. That's pretty amazing.
Just call him Mel Gibson.
Wow. Unbelievable. So Sam Joshi's penis has brought Edison to its knees.
We need a billboard. I think we should open enter the new year by December 31st. We have a billboard put up that reads that, and we'll put it near, I don't know, Menlo Mall. It'll be great. Everyone's coming in doing their holiday returns and stuff, and they'll be reminded about penis dictatorship. I guess that would be what's going on here.
Nobody wants to hear about this police report about Mayor Joshi's penis, but it keeps popping up.
What a cock of a leader. No. But, I mean, what do they plan to, I guess, are they going to, they're going to discuss it further. As you've said, what could happen from here, I guess, is the question.
I believe the prosecutor's office swept it under the rug.
Ugh.
And nothing's happening with that. Absolutely nothing. Except for his election is going to be affected by this, because for 6 months we're going to be talking about this police report about Sam Joshi's penis.
Well, his erection's definitely affected if you have to, roofie a woman to do anything.
Yeah, it's really disgusting what he did, and I don't know if you heard it, but Leroy Truth interviewed her and Brescher, Councilman Brescher, the other day.
Who's he?
He's the councilman on the.
No, I mean, who interviewed? Who's
Leroy Truth from? He's an auditor from Connecticut. He does Union City all the time. Very famous auditor, and he did a really great interview. And it's actually worse than that police report says.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you said the prosecutor swept it under the rug, then there must be a pretty bleached or Xerox police report, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, it's not really bleaching or Xeroxing it much if you're still saying She got dizzy, fell asleep on the couch. We're not saying he roofied her or anything. She just got really sick and got a little tummy ache, fell on the couch. Like,
That's what it more looks like that in the police report, but when you talk to her, it's totally different. Totally, it's worse. It's worse than the police report, which is scary because that police report's pretty bad, and it's actually worse than that.
He gets the facement of shame. I don't know if he feels it or not for Christmas.
No,
and we get Edison gets penis.
6 months worth of penis for Edison. Great.
No one wins. No one wins for that. It's a terrible Christmas gift altogether.
We all want to keep Mayor Joshy's penis out of our mouths, but here we are talking about it again. Oh wait, that didn't sound good. Jim, I had to mute you. I'm sorry. I had to mute you because I'm hearing a lot of background noise. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm unmuting you.
Please put a joke petition together to sterilize him. It would be really just as like. We're gonna get you fixed. We're gonna bring you to the Edison veterinarian.
Yeah. You know what they do? They put rubber bands around your balls until they just fall off after like a week.
Hey, get off that other dog. Hey, sit, wait in the waiting room. Calm down.
Okay.
You get a treat. You get a treat if you do.
His balls just fell off. It's been a week.
His balls just fell off.
They've been tightly wrapped in rubber bands for a week, so they just fell off.
Hold on. All right, we gotta put him down. Couple things with this, and he won't have to worry anymore. That, or we'll have a Forrest Gump councilman, or whatever he is. You hear they're making a second one of that?
Good.
Yes.
I didn't get enough in the first one. I knew there was more to that story than that one movie. There had to be more. You don't just end Forrest Gump like that. You have to keep going.
But, I mean, what else is there to tell? Is it like what's the? I feel like if they're not gonna like stick with like the time period they were in, something pretty dramatic has to have changed. Like Forrest is now a woman.
Yeah, they'll update him, and they'll do all that, and they'll make him go to North Korea and fire off a missile and do all kinds of dumb stuff.
Lady in the park came up and asked me, am I a boy or a girl? I said, I am both. Gender identification is like a box of chocolates. You got to be very careful about how you read which chocolate identifies as. Otherwise, you get a mouthful of canceled.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. We've been canceled so many times. I'm just like, whatever. You can say whatever you want here because we've been canceled and doesn't matter.
It's my similar attitude to shadow banning because I know no one has to tell me. I know on some level on my Instagram or YouTube I'm shadow banned. But I'm still getting people. So whatever. Do whatever. Fight the stigma. Keep doing it. I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe in any form to like, oh, just conform so you can get more subscribers and viewers. No. That's not how you fight the stigma.
Bro, we had videos with millions of hits, 4 million hits, and now we're down to 500 hits. How do you go from 4 million to 500? It's impossible without something outside.
Wait, the views went down?
Yes.
How?
Like all my latest videos, like a year ago. It's crazy.
I don't think they're allowed to do that.
A year ago, we were getting 1 million hits, and now we're getting 500, 800. Now we're down to 500. Edison,
wait, are you saying in general or on a specific video?
Specific videos. Yeah, there's some videos with millions of hits.
Okay, so you're just talking about the traffic. I thought it was like, it read at 5 million views. Now it's down to 500. I'm like, how does that happen?
No, it's different videos. But How do you go from 4 million to 500? And it's like, I don't get it.
I mean, on some level, the social media game doesn't make any sense to me. I've posted videos that I put either very little work in or are just very stupid, and they get tons of views. But then again, people listen to things Nick Fuentes says, and he is. But he's in jail. He's in jail. I'd like to talk about that for a minute. Actually, did you hear about that?
No, tell me.
So this woman showed up to his house. Mind you, this is the man who's saying men need to be men, that we need to take charge and act as men do. Big brawny lumberjack, because he's clearly that. He's clearly the representation of Paul Bunyan and Mr. Clean and the guy who's on the paper towel logos mushed together in one hunk of manliness. But that aside, so a woman took issue with, surprisingly, the phrase he uses, "your body, my choice," and came to his house to yell at him, and he pepper sprayed her on his doorstep.
Oh.
That's like the opposite of manly. Like, I feel like,
wow.
Yeah, there's definitely it sucks though, because when these kind of things happen, your immediate call out to them, like in a situation like this, is often disagreed upon. For example, oh, that's a very female thing for you to do, to pull out pepper spray when you're talking about being a man, but you can't use it's just very tricky. But yeah, that he's in jail now, or going through the process or whatever, but who knows what'll happen to him. Probably nothing. But we'll see. There's still some systems holding up with that side coming into power, but it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game altogether. So, are you guys going to the Bud Tenders Ball at the end of December?
Where is that? Is that in Bergen or somewhere?
Yeah, and on the 30th. If you haven't been before, it's a time. It's a fun event. Awards are given out. By the way, if anyone's listening and you're in the industry, vote Tobias Eats for Influencer of the Year. If you look him up on Instagram, he makes excellent food content, cannabis content, reviews and such. He's an awesome dude, great energy, and yeah, go vote for him. He's a good guy. But yeah, they do awards. They have a dab bar set up, food. It's a hell of a time, honestly. Have you guys ever been to a Cannabis event other than the 420 Expo? Cannabis, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah,
yeah.
Good time. Good energy. Any cannabis event, honestly, I go to. They're good energy. They're great people there. It's just a different vibe than like most of what I find in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because you think about it, it's the same people. It's just a different. I can't explain it anything else other than it's the environment you're in, where you can, I guess, you're smoking weed constantly, whether that's chilling you out or that being the environment comforts you to some degree, but it does a job for people. I mean, you were at the 420 Expo, people were literally sleeping outside.
What?
You didn't see that over by the food trucks? You'd go outside, people were just literally sleeping in the grass.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was really cool to see, because like, oh, this is the Cannabis Expo. It's very fitting to see people sleeping outside by the food carts, and it was a nice weekend for that. So yeah, wow. There were a lot. Like, I counted like at least 5 people when I first went out. I was just like, yeah, these people are just napping.
Gee, I wonder if they do that at beer gardens.
They're unconscious for a different reason. I went to. Have you ever been to the Atlantic City Music and Beer Festival?
No.
So I went back in 2022 with my friend Matt, and it was for this band First to 11. They first time, I think, playing in New Jersey. I went to go see them. There was literally no one else there, so I was literally right at the front of the stage. But me and him were walking around getting food and stuff, and there was a dunk tank with a woman in it. And my friend Matt kept edging me to go do the dunk tank because they say, what was it? You get a lap dance for it if you dunk her. And I'm not one to go to strip clubs ever, so I didn't really, it wasn't really my vibe. But he pushed me for it, so I figured, I get to dunk a human being in the water, so might as well try. I did. I didn't make it, and then while we were walking away, I looked around and I realized it had just poured rain recently. The ground was muddy, and there were no chairs nearby that dunk station. So I think I walked away with a win, not getting a muddy grind my butt into the mud lap dance. It's like every time in my life I've been presented with a lap dance, it's never had a pleasant prospect to it. Case in point there. But
be a fair question early on in a relationship. How do you feel about lap dances at home? With a girlfriend, You say, you'll be facing the other way for a while. Put this wig on. It'd be somebody else for all intents and purposes.
Someone else, and there's someone. There's someone in the corner stroking a gun, sitting in a chair in the dark, just watching, just like the movies.
What I used to really rather do would be. Sometimes we go to a club like that actually for lunch, because they had really good food, and the matinee.
Do they?
And it would be just find the drunkest table and sit as close to them as you can, because they're the ones flashing all the money, and they're the ones all the extras are going to come over and hang around at. I get. So like if it's a table dance like this one place, how far away are you anyway? And you don't even have to have tips.
I think if there was any shred of possibility that I would have ever gone to a club like that, it was vaporized in 2019 when I had a dancer living with me for a while. And I was told everything that happened in that club, and it was not a pleasant scene. I'll tell you this. One scenario that played out a lot that she'd tell me about was and these guys either had to be like first timers at the strip club or impatient or something, because she'd tell me like the groups of guys that come together, and then after two of them would and then two of them would strike out with women or not have money or something like that. And then they just go off to the bathroom together. And she'd tell me and I came across them and they're like, yep, getting together in the bathroom. And I'm like, so you come to a club full of women dancing naked, and whether it be because of your financial situation or impatience, you went the other way in the bathroom.
That could mean a lot of things. I'm just thinking
it
went the other way thing too,
I
other way.
Well, but it's. I think it's just looking at the face of it, without digging deeper. Which who wants to dig deep into that kind of story? But on the face of it, you think they're like, if you're going to a strip club, you're there to interact with women, see women. I don't know. I don't go. I'm just going off basic clue points, but I don't think that anywhere on that list I'd expect to be go hook up in the bathroom with my male friend.
It's the side games that used to be interesting to me. Like, for instance, if it was a circular bar and the entertaining was done from the middle, you would never look away from one's eyes. She'd be right in front of you. You'd be just looking right. Didn't want that. It's not what it was. The opposite. It was like, hey, my boobs are here. What are you looking up here for? It's the opposite of my eyes are here.
What did they call the ones in New York? The old ones.
hags.
No, the before strip clubs.
Burlesque. Then?
Not that, but there was a older concept where you'd sit in a room and you'd have like a vision area to look through, and you'd see the women in the main room dancing or whatever. It was a really weird. You've never heard of this?
Well, I've heard of that and worse, but
Yeah, I thought
I have no real. I don't even have a visual conception to,
Very strange. I have been to one burlesque. The only burlesque I've ever been to was at an anime convention, which was strange. I don't think ever in my life I would have asked to see the Magic School Bus strip. Not Miss Frizzle. Let me make that very clear. Not Miss Frizzle.
Doesn't
the
make
Magic School Bus itself.
Me.
The short woman from The Incredibles was a weird show. Yeah, though it just when you get it was very creative and they were very great performers. It was funny, but God, if it wasn't strange.
I think Oklahoma set the meter for strange in many ways,
In what way?
There was more, if it wasn't like right in like Oklahoma City as an example, there wasn't too much monitoring of anybody's establishment, so things would go on there that I suppose weren't supposed to, pretty regular, and people could get way out of line if it wasn't the fighting kind of out of line. They didn't care about the strangeness of it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? I was born in Oklahoma City. We left shortly after the bombing, so I didn't really get to know most of the environment there beyond the age of 6. But I can imagine that would happen. Absolutely. It's a very widespread left to yourself area. I can imagine people get up to some weird shit there. But that's America. What are you smoking there, Lefty? Anything good?
Cinderella 99. And I just ran through the parking lot of a place like that. And there's people sitting in the parking lot here doing things that I don't know what they're doing. The mayor might be here. The Edison mayor could be here in a car doing something. I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff going on here. And I got hit in the head with something. I don't know what it was, but
I gotta join you. I now I'm more inclined to actually join you out there one day on the spot, and just watch some of this stuff. I'll come dressed in a trench coat. I'll come dressed in my Deep Throat outfit. It'll be great.
We'll make a video. Let's make a video.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just gonna stand in the parking lot in a trench coat and dark hat and sunglasses.
I want to pray for them.
I open the trench coat. Woo! No.
Open the trench coat and have a bunch of Bibles and say, here you go. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you in your habit of whatever you're doing out here.
I don't know. You really want to feel better? Take out a camera and start taking pictures.
Oh,
yeah. Almost nobody wants to be known as frequent.
I'll be very misleading. I'll silo up to them, hands in the trench coat pockets, and be like, "You boys in the market for some breast sausage?" I'll let 5 seconds pass, and then I'll open my jacket, and there will be like 3 sausage links hanging from my jacket. I'll buy from the deli.
Now I'm starving.
There you go.
Not me. Had the opposite effect on me somehow.
And then 3 people come out of the corner. 3 people come out of the corner and be like, "Get out of here, Peter. You're not even a real pervert.
You're not a real perv.
You're just a meat enthusiast." And I'll be like, I'm gonna be completely honest.
A meat enthusiast.
I I misread the flyer. Second question: why are you guys putting out flyers for this?
Oh,
My scenario's done.
yeah.
So that's the video. That's the video. We need to get
like
3
it.
people to prop up and me to come up and be like, "You boys in the market for some fresh sausage?" Perfect. Okay, that's how we're gonna start the new year. Wonderful.
Yes,
Oh,
feed me, daddy. Feed me, daddy. That's what they're going to say to you. Be prepared. Be prepared. When they say, feed me, daddy, what are you going to do and stay?
I pull out the hard frozen sausage and defend myself with everything I've got. And that's not an innuendo. I'm going to, I'll have like a hard frozen sausage, and it'll keep cold because it's winter. And I don't think anyone wants to die being beaten to death with sausage. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I feel like I'm back in the Edison council meeting with this conversation.
Yeah, there's more sausage talk. Call me Oscar Mayer. God. I would hate this because there's just too much weird talk going on right now.
It's just like the
She's a
Edison council.
lesbian. That's the joke. Okay. It's too much.
It is too much. Way too extra. Too much for me. I can take a lot. I can put up with a lot, but it's a lot of
the sausage.
A lot of penis talk in Edison. It's too much.
You can only bear so much. You know, you can only cram so much wiener talk into one crevice of a conversation, and then it just becomes messy.
It's mayor penis.
I don't like that. Don't say that ever again. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. My heater's on, and this is making me hot, and it's not pairing well with the discomfort I'm feeling. You said mayor penis. I didn't like it.
You said it again. You said mayor penis.
After you told me I know. I'm kind of in shock. It's.
Why do you keep saying mayor penis if you don't want me to say mayor penis? I won't say mayor penis anymore.
It's kind of like when it's kind of like that scene where they're bouncing around a grenade in a cartoon. Except it's the word mayor penis, and I don't want that at all. Whether it be a mayor's penis or newly elected. God damn it! Newly elected. Mayor Beauregard penis. And you know what's really funny about him? He's a eunuch. It's just a gaslight. On this episode, Bucket Man kills Lefty. With dick talk.
With wiener.
With wiener. I'm gonna kill you with wiener. Oh, that was terrible. I hated that. Oh, wow. So yeah, Jim's just like, I'm sitting this one out. Why? I had a goddamn mind. Oh God.
It's like our board meetings have devolved.
You need to bring a mistletoe to the next town meeting. And just walk up to him and just pin it right between his legs on his pants.
Wow. That's a great idea, except pinning it on his pants.
Yeah, that's where it would be the problem. Because there's a needle in the pin, so you'd poke his penis.
Yeah.
And that's the only problem. It's not the fact that you're going near his genital area or anything. You don't want to stab him.
Never stab the mayor's penis.
Exactly. That's because you go to jail. You go directly to jail.
You could probably tape something to the mayor's penis, but that's not.
No, that's
not
sexual
attack.
harassment.
Not
still go to jail.
Lightly tape it. Lightly dab.
You
a
will
little
be
piece of
respected
butter.
in prison. You will be respected highly in prison. You will not get stabbed at all.
You get
I'll tell you
straight
that right now.
prison cred. You get prison cred for that.
He runs this place. He taped the mayor's penis together. What do I gotta be? What do I gotta do to be top dog? Well, you gotta one up him. You gotta cement his anus shut. I hope the mayor sees this.
Oh, he will.
Good. I hope you know what? I posted this video a while ago of a incident in 2019 where I intervene on a person's dog attacking him and his other dog, and that just simple good act of intervening led me into a conversation with Al Dukes of Sports Radio New York, who's a terrible person. So I would love to see if this gets brought into conversation where this leads me.
Al Dukes took so much abuse on the Ron and Fez show back in the.
He deserved it. Have you ever listened to it? Okay, so So, like I said, a man was being attacked by his dog, and his other dog was being attacked by that dog. I went in, I intervened, got the dog, and everyone was fine. Then they called me the next day because my dad listens to the radio and said, "Oh, that was my son," because they were talking about it because he lived in the apartment right behind me, apparently. So I'm on the interview on the sports radio first, and he's talking about we're a duo, we're a hero duo. I'm just like, what? And all the other hosts are kind of in the same similar boat with me. And if you watch the News 12 interview, it's cringe. It's cringe. He called us Batman and Robin. And he just called the police from his apartment. So abuse well-deserved, Al Dukes. Abuse well-deserved. Lefty froze. Jim, how you been?
Good by my standards. Not getting enough done.
I feel that.
I'm focusing more on
standards seem pretty
specific.
chill. So I imagine that's not really hard. Not to say you don't work hard, but you strike me as someone with a very chill set of standards of just I'm not going to kill myself if I don't get it done,
It's like Alfred Hitchcock, birds out there.
I don't know, but okay. I was going to say I don't know how this is like that, but the outside, quite probably, it's very foggy.
It's I'm a one-issue guy, and it's just not getting a lot of movement right now.
Well,
and seemingly less interest overall. Sue.
It's gonna come back into the conversation.
Sue the cannabis nurse. Hello.
Hi, Sue.
Good evening, Sue.
Hi. Hi.
How are we doing? It's very nice to talk to you. How are we doing today? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
I think next time, not on Thursdays, but on Tuesdays, I'll put something under my name, but it'll probably be something different each week.
So yeah, I mean, and again, if you got any thing you're trying to get more eyes on, please send that over to me. I'll share it. I'll do whatever I can with it. But I think there's definitely more of a conversation coming for it in the new year.
Oh, and more before that. The Mayor Slayer. See,
Mayor Slayer.
Everybody's got something below their name except me. I'm going to take care of that next time.
I'm glad Mayor Slayer wasn't here for the earlier part of the conversation.
You should put it Jim Miller Extraordinaire. I think that's good. I like
Yeah, I'll use that one time, but mine will change each time. It'll be like on Tuesday, not on Thursday. Thursday,
It's just
You're just
it'll
Jim
say
on Thursday.
Jim Miller, the Jim Miller.
Patrick, you're muted.
Patrick, you're muted.
Patrick, I like being official. That's so formal now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you
what's
go.
up,
Yeah, yeah.
Mother Slayer?
How we doing, bud?
That was
Happy
fun
holidays,
last
Pat.
night.
How about we put under your name, Jim? We put a man of many words.
I'm good with that.
Many.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's to be seen. There's been really
Yeah.
one consistent word throughout this entire episode so far, but let's change that.
Why? What happened?
We were talking about Mayor Joshy's penis, and I don't want to talk about his penis anymore.
Ew.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I withheld from that conversation, but I don't.
Jim just kind of sat in the corner while we acted like fools. It was a wise decision to make.
Doesn't hurt me. You make me look good.
Yes, I can go to sleep knowing I did something tonight.
Everything's relative.
Hey,
I'll be the silent one in a conversation like that too.
What's up, Pat?
Why is Joshy's penis always coming out your mouth?
It's
because it was in the police report.
Oh,
yeah.
And then whenever Lefty would read the police report,
I know,
yeah,
Jim.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
yeah.
I'm hip.
I'm sitting on the
hip. I'm hip with all the phallus innuendo.
Yeah, listen. Sometimes Mayor Joshy can't be a happy camper right now.
No, I was saying earlier, I don't think any of us are from this news. If he has a moral spine of any sort, then he is feeling some form of shame for Christmas. And our punishment is we get to hear about it for a couple more weeks.
6 months.
Yeah, so that's not fun for anyone.
Election.
If any, so if anything, I think we got the worst punishment out of it. Because I mean, if I can't expect someone who would do something like that to really sit for the next 6 months and really beat themselves up over it like they should.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
He doesn't show up to the meeting, so there's no personal, FaceTime with him.
Which, and honestly, if I'm being honest, I think a bigger deal should be being made of this. I mean, it's like, if anything, now is the time to really call out these officials, these people who are.
But I don't see how you can make much of a bigger deal than they're making right now. I mean, you got a lot of people putting attention to it,
That's fair. I just hope that they stick with it.
I think there's going to be an investigation. I ultimately think that he will be charged with a crime.
The question is, though, it was back in 2022. I would hope there's still some evidence left. I would hope there's still a trail to follow for an investigation. But
You're talking about the assault, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do, there's a whole, chain of evidence that gets saved. So it's there. If it was done, it's there.
Right.
But that's the other piece is knowing whether the person that was attacked went to be, seen.
And that's the unfortunate part is that there's a good possibility this person's going to have to be dragged through this, which is just it's not
Which
something.
It's bad. It's bad. Listen, I just went through an ordeal with a stalker myself. Okay, and it was nasty. It was really nasty. But I wasn't going for restraining orders or anything like that. You know what? Just stay off of my side of the street. And it had to come to some kind of grips with other officials, and you know what? They handled it. I didn't. I walked away. I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. I am
And you
not.
know what?
I don't want anybody knowing, because once the assailant, files a charge, then the person that hurt them now has all of their, because of the right to
to confront your
everything.
accuser.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's willing to come forward.
And
She's
you know
already
what?
come forward.
And she may be willing to come forward, and God bless her if she does. But
Absolutely.
it sucks. It really sucks
Yes.
because
Yeah.
this no one recognizes us. No one recognizes that women really, really do get hurt, and these high officials get away with it.
And this is the thing that keeps blowing my mind, is that we just, like, in the broad scheme of things, we just exited, I feel like, or recently entered within the past 5-6 years, an era where people were calling people out more often,
Mhm.
where people were digging into these issues really thoroughly,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden
there was Donald Trump.
it doesn't make any sense to me at all, other than the fact that, like I said before about this, people are scared, and
Yeah.
people, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the discipline to restrain that fear from making big, rash, crazy decisions. We were just talking about before, Nick Fuentes now is in jail because the man preaching manliness pepper sprayed a woman that confronted him on his property. So I've said other times that I'm glad so far, and again, he's not even in office yet, but there are seemingly some walls that are holding, voices coming out and still speaking somewhat rational language as far as red lines against things like sexual assault and drinking and things like that. But it's a scary time. It's very scary.
Very
I'm
scary.
and I'm a person, honestly, who feels a lot of empathy for people, and I don't like the idea that, people like women like you who are, worrying about even being around men you don't know. Scenario. It's a very unsafe world. I have trans friends who are being extraordinarily brave right now in the face of this all.
But they're being ostracized.
And you know what?
Yeah, I see that.
It's undervalued what they're going through, because you can come up and say, sure, they could just stop, or this is just the way they come up with every excuse. No one really has an understanding other than them of the psychological toll
Absolutely
that hits you, let alone from just coming to terms with that fact about yourself, but
Yep.
going through the process, going through the day-to-day of something people like us don't have to worry about, of, maybe someone getting your pronoun wrong, maybe someone misidentifying you, which for a lot of people,
this is a lifetime thing for them. It's not like, okay, well, in 6 months when you recover, all will be well and you can go about your business. It doesn't work like that. This is a lifetime of treatment, of therapy, of hormones, of being ostracized, and it's sad. It's very sad, and quite frankly, I don't know how they do it.
I won't go into specifics, but a friend of mine, like literally days before the election, got confirmation that their health insurance was going to cover some surgical transitions they were going to do. We had celebrated, and then a couple of days later, he got elected, and
Yeah.
I was heartbroken for them. And
Yeah.
it's not even the fact that, like, okay, this is set in stone, this is going to happen. It's the same thing I felt when the election results came in. He's talked so illy about people with disabilities.
Mhm.
About, you've heard the story about his brother and his son, or I think something where they were in the Oval Office and they were talking about an investment account that he made for his disabled son, and he said, "Just let him die. It's too expensive." That
That's
made me
horrifying.
sick. Like I'd say that for a lot of things in my life, but that literally made me ill.
Mm-hmm. I know.
It's
Yeah,
one
but
thing.
let me ask you a question, because it seems like, I mean, do you think Democrats are much better for our society?
You know what? It's not about, I don't think it's about party lines
The
anymore. It's
war on
about people.
drugs, the crime bill, they were all made by Joe Biden. Literally, he's the one that authored the crime bill.
So I'm glad you brought that point up. I'm really glad, and there's an answer to this for me.
He was trying to keep crack dealers away from Hunter.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Harsh reality time for the whole.
That was the most destructive bill in the United States ever passed for our society as a whole, and especially for the poor communities in America.
Yeah.
And especially black communities. So
yeah,
I mean, come on, it goes
And that
both
may
ways.
be that
both of these parties suck.
Yes, that is. I do not disagree with you there. Like I was going to say,
don't cry a river when somebody gets elected, because they both suck.
No,
That's what I try to tell people. It's like okay, well, tomorrow you still got to wake up, you still got to go to work, you still got to do what you got to do. You still, if you want an activist, you got to be an activist, right? But like, just because somebody gets elected shouldn't change the way you feel about yourself or the world. It's a very small thing in our life. Trust me.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a large scale of that I agree with you. There's a harsh reality that I think a lot of people skip over. That fact that name a place in the world that's led by someone who's an angel.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist, and that's a harsh reality we've got to deal with. That we, the people, not in power, have to be the best we can.
Well,
That's we can't like wish for this perfect angel, president, dictator, whatever. Bottom line, though, this was his first presidential run was controversial. This run was such a stray from what you normally see as a leader. As someone who, we've lived through Bush, Clinton.
Yeah, but go on the other side. Yeah, you had a undemocratically elected a representative of the Democratic Party. Nobody even voted for her. They should have held an open convention and selected somebody that people wanted, but they pushed down our throat a candidate that had. Dude, I'm a moderate Democrat who's voted Republican for the first time in my life because they tried to shove a candidate down my throat. I could not. She was a horrible candidate from the beginning. So why they did that, I don't understand. But so you can't.
So because of that, you voted for Donald Trump? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yes.
Two points to that. Number one, name me someone else who was throwing their hat in the ring. No one else was saying. People were prospecting and saying
they were ready to have an open convention. Gavin Newsom would have thrown his hat. All these different people. Open convention means that gives people a chance to throw. They had the same thing in '68 in Chicago. They had an open convention, and that's what should have happened. Listen, like I said, I think they all suck. I think Donald Trump's an egotist. He's a elitist, and he plays off the fears of most of the people who have a lot of ignorant fears in our country, right? And
yes.
I think it goes both ways. They do that the other side too. Like no offense, but like the world's going to end because you got elected. It just doesn't happen like that to me. It's like I went to my friend's house the next day, and it was like he was sick, like he had caught like a fever. Like, oh my god, like I'm like, what happened? Are you okay? And he's like, no, what happened last night? And I'm like, well, what happened? I didn't even remember. Like, I just think people put so much weight on that, and these people say things to antagonize, and then once they get into office, they all do the same thing. They toe the line.
And I think people very much undersell and undervalue the. Like you said, no, it's not the end of the world. Yes, there are still guardrails in place, and this is not. He's not That's stupid. I'll be the first to say that.
You never know how stupid a person can be.
Okay, but let me just.
No, I
let me
mean
just-
of anybody, right off.
Oh, but for the sake of this argument, let me just say that it's the fact that, like I was saying earlier, it's the psychological impact that leaves people with.
Well, you know what? Listen, I haven't said much yet, but I
Go
do
ahead.
got to say we're delivering a lot of psychological impact upon ourselves by trying to figure out stuff that we're gonna find out eventually, you know. But we're trying to predict and get ready. It's like playing a game of chess when you don't know how to play chess. How you have to plan for all sorts of different things, and if you're 3 moves down the field, we have no idea. Now, my point is how much of other shit that we all should be doing is this getting in the way of? That's my concern. You know, there's other stuff in everybody's life that they're letting go to figure out shit that one. I haven't seen anybody in like something like this or on Facebook say, you know, now that you put it like that, I see what you mean. I get 1 vote. That's it. And then where I have no votes, guess how much interest I have in predicting what I'm going to find out anyway when I have no way to prepare for it. It's what I think we, including me, are causing a lot of our own problems in that way because we're not really having our peripheral vision too much, and we're going to miss some shit coming down the road. I don't think any of the doomsday. You know, I have way more of an interest when we're talking about what's going on with trans people and what they have to worry about. You know, see, I'm leading.
What about wait? What about women? Okay, what about women's health care?
Exactly. But I can't help get anything done. I know how I feel about it, and I know I'm not going to change anybody's mind about it. So once I know how everybody feels about it,
okay,
you know, it's everybody else. There's always somebody better prepared for me to beat the drum. And I'll be going like, yeah, what that person said. You know, I can take part like that. But I think I've been missing shit I'm supposed to get done. So,
thank you, Maria.
And oddly enough, maybe I have more things to do than anybody else, which one, really sad, but kind of good for me because it's like then I actually feel better by comparison because it's not getting to me because it's like there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm not going to change anybody's mind. And when I get a vote, I use it wisely, you know. Okay. And if I didn't like anybody that was running, I'd not vote, but I did vote, you know. But that's my vote, and I don't even say who, you know.
And here's the thing, and I think Sue will very much agree with me here, is that, you know, okay,
that's pressure.
Let's not worry about what hasn't happened yet. Let's focus on what has happened.
You want to see what's coming. I'm not saying don't look at what's coming, but the weeds, they haven't grown yet to get into.
The weeds, but let me tell you the weeds that have grown. Weeds that have grown are the weeds that grow when someone runs for president on a platform that strays so much from every other president we've had. We've never had a president say,
I already know that.
Okay, but just building to this.
Just saying.
We've never had a president that takes the tenor, the tone, the threats that he does. He doesn't. There's never been a president that sends a message that he does. There's never been a president where he walks into the room or comes on TV and you feel like your boss just walked in the room. That kind of icky, yucky feeling. So there's a psychological impact to that happens when you have the leader of your country speaking in the way that he speaks. That is going to freak people out.
I agree.
It's going to mess them up.
Across the board, I agree.
Okay. We can look at things to come with confidence, though, that they're going to end poorly. For example, how did he tackle immigration the first time? Poorly.
What can I do about it, though? What can I do? I understand.
Well, this is what you can do. You can make sure you involve yourself.
How?
That march coming up. Okay, I have put it all over the place. So any information you need, I have. All right, and get yourself involved, and you have to speak up.
Keep the
Okay,
conversation
and just
going.
like you
Yes.
pulled,
Yeah.
just like you did in Edison, that was civil disobedience. Sometimes you just have to say what the fuck, like Lefty did. He walked in with a mask, sang a song, did whatever. You know what? Do it. Do it.
Doing nothing, saying, "What am I
Okay,
going to do about it?"
right.
For a lot of
Saying nothing does nothing. Does
well,
exactly
it does worse.
that word.
It's a detriment. It works against what you're trying to prevent because you're one less person pushing against that. This is
It
how
depends who you're
dictatorships
saying
happen.
it to and how you're saying too. Just you say saying, yellow ribbons are fucking useless.
All right, listen, I gotta go, guys, because I got
Yeah.
kids and husband.
Sue, it's been a pleasure
Okay.
talking to you. I hope we get to talk again
Okay,
soon.
yeah,
Awesome
yeah.
talking to you
Let's
again,
talk
Sue.
on Thursday.
We'll see you Thursday.
Okay,
Take it easy, Sue. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
come on Thursday. Okay.
Okay. Have a great night, Sue.
Yeah. So anyway,
Sausage.
if I can't
No.
change it's that's why I sit here. I mean, if you'll see me sometimes, I look like I'm listening. I got a whole other carnival in my head. I'm thinking about where I really am going to be like doing after this, and I'm because I know I'm not doing enough. I mean, I never am. But God damn it, I'm having so much less interest in re-examining my opinions. It's a waste of time. I find they're always the same when I re-examine them. And I find if I can do nothing about it, listen, I haven't been in an animal shelter in like 30 years because I walk out with no money when I go in. So I don't go in. It doesn't mean I don't give a fuck about animals anymore. It just means I could tie all the yellow ribbons or all the colors there are, and it doesn't do anything. What it does is it keeps me away from things. I'll put it really bluntly to people and say I made a promise, a deathbed promise that I haven't kept, and I'm not doing what I said. So the interesting part, and this is like really on topic, is that when I had to tell Cheryl she wasn't going to live much longer, I got to do that. And then when I said, listen, I'm tired and I got to fess up right now while I can. I don't think I can keep up the pace. I don't think I can keep on doing this. I really don't. I'm a tired advocate. I'm not tireless. And she said the opposite of what I thought she'd say. I thought she'd say, "Oh, honey, after everything we've done, of course, But she said, "Oh, but you have to." Oh, what the fuck, And she said, "Don't you wish we'd known sooner to do things?" In other words, it was still at that point saying it was medicine to people who said no, it wasn't. So, but the point was, it was actually a verbally settled on. I guess made a deal. We didn't shake on it, but yeah, I made a deal from like this close and said when I make decisions on what I'm doing about this, I'll ask myself, what would Cheryl do? And if I feel that you would have wanted to take part or go there or be there, then I'll do the best I can without you. And that was it. And I'm not doing the best I can because I'm being fucking sidetracked. So I love this as communal time. This is the fun one of the two podcasts. The other one, well, we have minor guardrails at least.
Wow.
That's what makes us fun,
Well,
I mean,
yes.
I enjoy it. So it's time we're spending, or I wouldn't be here. Lefty tell you, he wouldn't be here if he didn't want to be here. And that being said, I devote enough to it then. But the second I leave, it's like I'm researching Scutari and stuff, I'm thinking, why am I the one doing the research? What the fuck? I mean, after all I've done for decades, why am I the one doing that? We're going on 4 freaking years. 2 of them are our fault and 2 are his. But we're culpable, and, it's everything that deals directly with accessibility. And to me, you know, I'm one issue guy. I'll admit it. Home grow for patients, but for so many patients, disability is also probably for many, maybe more than not. I don't know, but it is. So that is in lockstep, tight hand grip goes together. You know,
Yes.
in my mind, and I really, I mean, I like all the offshoot stuff going on, but for everything, somebody would know more about what we'd be talking about because they spend more time talking about it, perhaps. And I'm sure there's things I'm missing, but I want to know what trains are coming. I mean, I want to hear the train coming. It's just that I don't feel the need to validate my opinions to anybody. I don't give a fuck what anybody feels. And what I do like occasionally, I'll dig somebody on Facebook and I hit and run. And I'm not hitting and running, I'm hitting and getting busy with other shit, you know. But
Right.
I have stopped Facebook discussions because one thing I excel at is when I think. I'm not so good impromptu like I used to be, but when I think about something, have time to put it in perspective. I mean, over a couple of minutes, you know. I only do that. But I type stuff out, replies to stuff, and then wipe them out and delete them and don't send them 5, 6 times to one of actually sending it. Because I look at it and it makes me feel good. But honestly, I say, if I hit send, am I going to feel better? No. It'll distract me. Then I feel like I got to pay attention sometimes.
Right.
So that's how I deal. And I'm honest, though. It's like, you know, don't mistake me for somebody that's going to check back to see what anybody had to say, because I don't care. There, it's right there. Go ahead and get back to me, you know. And oddly enough, I don't even know who it is over, of course, all the time on Facebook and all my friends. I've never unfriended anybody, you know, and my whole Facebook thing is open to the public. I mean, or, you know, that's for the place for me to be an open book. Doesn't mean I have to take part, though. But I love that especially because obviously I agree with everybody here, and I agree with what Pat's saying. You know, I don't agree to that extent, but I don't hear anybody say, "What the fuck?" I'll wait. Okay, yeah. I'll break a rule for me. Joe Biden was elected president as a placeholder. He said so himself. He used the word "new blood" or something, or young blood, right? A placeholder. Okay, tick, tick, tick. The clock started ticking right then. Nothing. Where was the grooming? Where was the who will we get over next? It's going to be less.
Well, I think they definitely tried to groom people, but I think there was.
But I don't. Who as an example?
Well, that I would have to look at it. But the point is, if even more generally speaking,
it wasn't.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people were just intimidated by the environment of him threatening everyone, the retaliation people would get. It just did. I could definitely see a lot of people being turned away by that. Also thinking that he wouldn't get elected again.
There's like particular people, and then there's reasons. You know, it's sort of like you got Hakeem being the leader in the assembly. You know, and if they had the majority, and of course, then that'd be really cool. So yeah, he's going to be acting that sort of way. Okay, not him. Now, Cory Booker might have had a moment that passed, but not him. And it seemed like everybody, I don't know. It's just that's it. It's talking about an open convention is one thing. Talking about an open system for 4 years about, you know, it wasn't. And then, so much can happen as a person reaches their 80s. It's like the difference between 1 month to the next becomes.
You could get almost killed twice.
Yeah, but well, that too. But there's a downslide that's different for everybody after that. And oh my God, 4 more years.
Yeah, getting into your 80s is different for everyone. Some people have strokes. Some
Well,
people tried to get assassinated multiple times. It's different for everyone.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, a successful assassination, as much as people think that might have actually worked out better for humanity, it might have worked out worse because then there's a lot of people that would have had a martyr, and then somebody else would have rose out of that filth.
Yeah,
that they would have followed with more of a fervor than they did,
oh, yeah.
because
There's
it would be a martyr. No, that man has to live long enough to take his shit. Has to live long. He don't outrun the piper.
There's no good that could have come out of.
And
I
a
remember
lot
the
of
first,
bullshit could have gone out big time, worse than words are thinking. And all while there's parts of a world wondering, are they really going to take their eye off us long? It's we're doing that.
There's nothing good. Like, I remember the first assassination attempt. For 15 minutes, I had like a boisterous, kind of stance about it. But then I was like, you know what? I don't feel good about this. I don't. This is, at the end of the day, he's a president who, former or not, that nearly got killed.
And it gave him more power, more standing, and it got everybody revved up. It started things going the way they went. I mean, seriously, I look at all the spaghetti graphs people put out, and I turn around. I don't argue any of them. I just
you could play a reel of like his highlights.
That's what happened. I mean, look, the man did that, and okay, an assassination attempt. Attempted to stand up on the running board to get above the crowd during an active shooting at the time.
The Secret Service should have never allowed.
Well, no, the point was it was more important to him to drum that and use the photo op, which is exactly where the power lies in perception of a mass of people that feeds off itself, becomes its own ever-serving echo chamber to keep it in perpetual motion. So anything like a martyr without him there, I mean, I'd argue that case in point around here more than once. No, it's not a good thing. The attempt was bad enough. The fact that it drew blood, shit. Why couldn't it have just whizzed by? That would have lessened.
Taken off his toupee. I think
It
Robin
still
Williams
killed
was
the
very much.
It still killed somebody.
What
Somebody
the hell
died.
Yeah, what is he selling now? He's selling something.
Cologne, the Bibles.
The watch.
No, after the watch, something this week or something.
I heard about this.
Perfume or something?
He already was doing cologne. Guitars.
No, he's got. God, the guy's.
He is doing guitars.
Oh, right. Every time I think of him, in my head, the music that goes with it. If you didn't, he was just talking.
Well, I was actually trying to say before, like if you played his highlights of the past 2 years with him, and you played like world star hip hop music, it would pair pretty well. His mugshot, getting shot almost twice, like it would fit. Just a couple shots, him boisterously walking along, being angry, his mugshot. Yeah, perfect hip hop music video right there.
And there's a whole nother thing that I say 2 words more than ever. Sometimes 4, depending how expressive I want it. It's either batter up or batter the fuck up. In other words, okay, it's going to be game time. It's going to be batter up, and if prices go up, all your fault.
Yeah, it's
all your fault.
But that's the thing. The way what he's proposing, the combination of that does not.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out
prices.
Yeah, but see,
for anyone,
it's as simple as
we all know what tariffs are.
The prices of things that were going up was the most moving factor. Immigration, although, and the border, two things, same thing. It got a lot of the play, but it was really for the overall, for everybody. It's like, oh, prices are horrible. Obviously, it must be Biden's fault, and then hers by proxy. So the thing is, the reverse is now true. Prices are going to be at a certain rate on January 20th. The ones that are monthly, it'll be in at the end of January. So wherever those prices are, where are they going to go now? And I'm telling you, they're going to be going up.
Yep.
Yeah, not down. They're not even going to stay flat. They're going to be going up. And they don't play as well as old school Republicans play. Oh, no, they're more like Democrats where they have a lot more infighting going on because the Democrats are more open-minded and able to consider more things. I mean that obviously is that's what I am. I'm registered Democrat.
Did you guys hear about that plan for the reserve and Bitcoin?
Not me.
Okay, so they're proposing a bill on the right that would create a Federal Reserve for Bitcoin that would be used, by their words, to pay our debt. I don't think Canada, Japan accepts Bitcoin. And if you think about it through how they have it laid out, they're basically backing a truck into the Federal Reserve and replacing it with Bitcoin.
I'd be skeptical, but I don't have a damn vote.
It's just very obvious. Like most of what they're doing, it's just very obvious what the outcome of that would be. But I don't know. I don't understand Bitcoin other than that it's made up money.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. I would need a go-to person to explain things because rather than me try to actually understand it all for myself, I'm willing to trade knowledge with people that I trust. And hey, what do you think and why? Boom, and
have a conversation about it.
But I do want to be able to ask intelligent questions about anything, whether I'm going to take part in it or not. I do want to know what it is I'm not taking part in. I don't know where that puts me, a coalition meeting tonight probably too. Second Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. 7:00.
Well,
so
this has been a fruitful discussion, guys, but I have to go and start making myself dinner to wrap up for the next part of my night. This has been a hell of an episode. I can't wait to get the recording of this. It's going to be great. But yeah, guys, I'll see you next week. Be well, and let's see what happens within the week to talk about that. But I'm signing off here. Please check out my Instagrams at the bottom, guys. Check out the content there. And see you guys around. Be easy, guys.
It's been good. It's been good.
Thanks, guys.
So it's a coalition meeting. Fuck. Originally, I thought tonight I wanted to say maybe it'll work out or it can work in. Today, I seem to be the one to have to say at least a little bit. Have we resent any outreach to Senator Scutari? It's been a couple months at least since the last time. Has there been any answer, and are we going to maybe redo that? I like doing that publicly as opposed to just doing that. I mean, there's a Facebook discussion thing, for the board and also for the board, their own little discussion thing. I hardly ever take part, but
we reach out to Satori on this podcast all the time. At least once every couple of months, we call them up and they ignore us.
Well, I think along these lines, we might be starting to come up with some good pothead type logic on what we can do to get people involved in calling and engaging the office. And, you know, to be an all-star, you got to do it at least every other day. It doesn't have to be long. It's got to log that baby in, make them work, you know. And, you know, we might consider putting out a really targeted petition. You know, I mean, very well, how you can't get more targeted than to a Senate president petitioning that he get out of the way of this bill. I mean, just get out of the way. Let the process work that you've totally by yourself, single-handedly, kept from any movement at all. And you know that's since January 21st. It'll be 21st, 2021. I'm trying to think when he became Senate president. Now that would have been,
I wonder how
that would have been like 3 years ago. This is like his blockade that, and it was Sweeney's, but it was Sweeney and Scutari right on board until Sweeney wasn't there, and then of course that became his baby. So I got to be careful how I portray it, but and it's not just to get out of the way. There's little peripheral issues like the how dare you never talk about this publicly. What happened? You know, from 2005 Scutari to now, this full circle thing to stab patients in the back. How that happened? I mean, there are questions. You know, you don't just go on like Spotlight New Jersey and Brianna Vanozzi, you know, ask a couple of questions and stuff. You know, stuff like that. He's officially not been answering the coalition, and you know, we worked very closely at the coalition with him, and he was patients' greatest hero, you know, and he went to bat. For crying out loud, he asked the governor, officially petitioned to pardon or commute John Wilson's sentence based on the fact that it was about to be legal very shortly. It was going to be legal to grow in New Jersey. It was based on the upcoming surety. He thought, he was so sure that it was going to be the law of the land. He went ahead with that, being the hero of the time. He didn't wait to do that. He wanted to get those wheels moving, showing just how much he thought that would be. And he hasn't even told patients who was behind it, who petitioned it to have it done. You know, all that. It's all just, you know, I'm not keeping up my promise, man, you know. So I think I'll be a little more one-track minded.
You're doing the best you can with what you got to work with, and we need to put more pressure on Scutari to get more public outrage like we did in Edison. Edison would never have done this if it wasn't for all the public outrage. And
that door, that's exactly what opens doors, you know. And once the doors open, it's too late to close, you know, and other people can really mop stuff up after those doors are open. But once you open them, your presence is always going to be felt, and you get to return to the scene of the crime anytime you need to. But so what happens next? Isn't there another town where there's some really crappy shit going on somewhere? Isn't there somebody saying, what about my town? You know, some crap. I mean, that'd be the coolest thing, especially if it's up near where you are, and it likely would be. You know, if there's something that needed attention, that'd be pretty interesting, you know, to show up in person and do that, because see, that's where the reputation helps open the door. If it's, oh no, that crew from Edison is here tonight, you know what I mean? And then you give them a real polite warning with your time, and not ruffling feathers then. Coming in with the lightest, let's just do this right from the beginning is our desire. That kind of shit. That'd be awesome. You want to flex on them a little.
Our friend Jesse had problems in Clemington where the mayor and the councilman assaulted her at a bar. So we're going to be heading down to Clemington after Edison. So Clemington, look out! We're coming for you.
Yeah. Any time frame on that? Or February?
That's our next gig is going to be Clemington because they assaulted Jesse, our friend Jesse.
Yeah, it's you'll get more bang for your buck taking things up there than equal time in Edison mopping up, because like I can't work. Man, the fact that it went nationwide really gives you the credibility to show up somewhere else, and Bongholio wouldn't need to go in full regalia. He could more or less hold up a picture of it so they could see what he's not feeling the need to do at the moment, See, that reputation comes in before you. And so to do it, you see what I'm saying? Like really low key, come however it identifies you,
Yep.
And basically setting it, but you could go in with that attitude of you might want to, we're really just here to say hi tonight. We'll be back, but we wanted to let you know why we're coming back. It's like serving notice, and you get to say you might want to ask the mayor how that went. And I'm betting there's a time way back in our existence with him that he wishes he did what you have the chance to do now. In other words, he wishes he was back dealing with us where you are. However you could express, you hear what I'm saying. You're that. We got a reputation now, and this is actually kind of fun for us. If I were on that council, it'd be like, I'd want to take it seriously. So I'm looking forward to see, the next thing. You don't have to go in guns a-blazing and just come in saying, does our reputation precede us? Of course it does.
Well, tomorrow is the big day in Edison. A lot of people didn't know there was a Monday meeting. So a lot of people are flying in to go to this meeting on Wednesday, tomorrow. And I happen to know, if you are interested, that Bongholio will be there in full costume singing a song.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's made for that. Yeah.
And I think I'm going to read the list. I think I'm going to just go do something I've never done, read the list and read why this list is here. And yeah, I'm going to spend my 6 minutes on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I've never done that before, and there's a lot to talk about on that list. A lot of reasons why we made that list, and 1 out of 10 patients are dying, and Edison needs to take that seriously.
Yeah, that seems to just.
I think it's a platform for home grow tomorrow. There'll be so many news people there tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about home grow. I'll use my time to talk about home grow and the list and why this list. If we had home grow, that list might be a lot shorter.
Yeah. Well, in the process of doing that, the real easy part where it began to understand is we were the 14th state to legalize cannabis as medicine, and the first to not allow patients to grow. The first 13 allowed. We went the other way. We are an outlier state from the very beginning all the way till now. Now only us in Delaware, I guess it is, don't have home grow, because Delaware followed our bad example for adults. You know, I mean, when it's legal for adults to possess and, of course, buy from us, every other state, the medical patients have the right to grow. Yeah, where adults have the right to have it like that. But we are such an outlier state with nobody validating that status. In other words, everybody seems to, somehow be okay with that. And what does it take to get everybody behind patients? What can I say? What does it take? Like it had just happened. It's been a cross to bear for over a decade. So, I guess people are just kind of used to it somehow. I just didn't think it would go on this long without somebody taking care.
Well, Christo was getting abused and bullied at the Edison council meetings for years. This has been going on for years. And finally, we took a stand because we were sick of him being bullied like this.
Yeah, and they fell right into it. It's I do like the mix. It's protesting at the point of discontent by their rules when they have open meetings that often. Can you imagine if the assembly or your district in state government, if there's an open meeting, they couldn't survive that, So that is your strong suit, and you're taking well advantage of it, and that opens the door. Of course, once the door is open,
Jim, we've been to so many council meetings, me and Mikey and then Steve. We're not intimidated by these guys. They don't intimidate us.
Well, they do almost everywhere else, and where there is a legitimate reason to show up, But can't you? I can just picture you. I mean, part of the team coming in and using your time to say hello, to them, and what specifically the problem is, but the more time the less time that you spend on really a succinct, even if you almost read it off a cue card, like because of, whereas, and whatever, blah blah blah, while you're there, yada yada. That's where we're at, and then use the rest of your time saying, this is how it started in Edison. What are the odds of that? And yes, this is the bong that you probably read about, without being, don't need to be there. You want to say the bong holio doesn't have to come back if you treat this fairly, It's not your ordinary path now. Please talk to the mayor, because this is where he wishes he was now, in Edison, where you are. So you don't want to look down the road and say, Jesus, all we had to do back in the beginning, we're offering that. This is a negotiation. We're here to say hi and begin the negotiation because we're in it for the duration. Boom. That, you see that? That's like flexing for real. You have a strong suit. That's it. Playing by the rules is your strong suit. What the fuck? Who would have thought, right?
Playing by your rules. I just need to know the parameters.
Yeah. And nuances, of course, it has to be in a certain form. It can't be like, oh, well, it's an unspoken rule or it's a custom. Well, we're not here. You're not going to be there for a custom, But you almost want to make yourselves actually likable and personable to them, I would think, on the initial here we are when you show up. Because that's the starting point. and then it gets to wherever you got to be after that. You want them to be able to look back at that meeting, that first one. Oh, they were so nice. What happened?
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, everything's relative. So for things to go downhill, they got to start somewhere good, and you start coming in good faith, saying, "Listen, you just keep talking about Edison without venom. You won. It's they want to see the new. They want to see you like I'm looking at you right now. But you'd be really assured of yourselves because it'll show, because you do have that power and you're saying it. But it's like I can say to Nick Scutari, get in touch with Congressman Frank Pallone. He'll take your call. Ask him about how did it go after that. I mean, can imagine Frank Pallone saying, Jesus, I heard about that for years from my neighbors. I couldn't go to church that day. Yeah, I'd have to ride right by him. He'll show up on day. He'll show up on church day, it'd be my guess, Nick. He'd hear that. And see, that's where you are already right now. You see the parallel I'm trying to draw there. You got that track record, and it's still high. That track's still on fire. Now you get to move on. That's pretty cool. Now, depending how it goes and what it is, and Pat has that same prerogative. He has that very recent history that he can succinctly name drop himself and what happened, and it's all verifiable. But that's always the way to get the information right off. First impression. What's the first impression going to be? Not coming looking for a fight. You're come tell them how it's going to be. Sing that Grateful Dead, Not Fade Away. I'm going to tell you who it's going to be. You're going to listen hard to me. We could hound you night and day, or you can make us go away. See?
Yeah, there you go.
You can make us fade away, totally plagiarize it.
What's this here? Do they have Zoom access? Where? In Clemington? No. In Edison? No. In Saraville? No. No. That would be a no. Any towns we're going to, they have no Zoom access. They do not care about your disability. Sorry. You're going to have to crawl up there. Yeah, you're going to have to crawl. Crawl up the aisle. Because they have no Zoom access. I might crawl with you. Yeah, come to Edison. Oh man, that'd be great. Tomorrow's the day to do that, Marina. Tomorrow there's going to be news up the wazoo tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be in Edison tomorrow. Come to Edison. Come there at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and you crawl. Oh wow, crawl for Zoom access. That's amazing. Crawling for Zoom access for all. Crawl for all. Yo, Marina, that rocks. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Woo! That excites me because that's what I'm talking about. That's activism right there. That's using your disability to an advantage. It really is, because that's powerful. That's powerful. You can't hide that.
It really is. And I guess it kind of rings a bell with me. There were times when I showed up with Cheryl, like to see the commissioner of health and the governor. But she got sick on herself and she puked, kind of went all over. And I got to clean up. I didn't have something else. It was like cleaned up. So I led with that when I got to talk with Commissioner Christine Grant Commissioner of Health and Assistant Commissioner George D. Fernando. And I started out with that. And the thing is, with me talking to them, it was in a room full of people because that was where the governor had a town hall in Toms River, and all her heads of all the departments were in different classrooms. So you could talk to the Department of Transportation, the Department of this, that, and I went to health. It was West Nile virus, and I was the only one there with a whole different thing, And starting out with that, I said, sure, well, maybe I was going to say apologize that I couldn't get her cleaned up better, because she vomited on herself as we got here. Kind of a motion sickness that we didn't have any medicine, didn't have any. And if she had just had some of her, I explained, I said that wouldn't have happened, So I started out with that. And then anybody looking to pay attention is like show and tell some more. So, crawling up, for Marina, that gets the door open, like really powerful and speaks for itself, and really doesn't need. It's kind of like, when you're that right, you don't even need to shout about it.
Yeah.
It's like, basically you could sum it up by going, she's not zooming along. Could be zooming along, but
Could be
can't
zooming,
because
yeah.
there's no zooming. Is that why I call it zoom? Yeah, you'd want to have that. You'd really want to have targeted speaking time assistance, because if it two people or even a third, like that's the door opener that night, would be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good night for anything you want to say. It's gonna be echoed through many, many people.
Yep.
Fox News is gonna be there. It's gonna be insane. All right, I'm out of here too, Jim. I'm gonna get going because I'm gonna have some dinner myself, and we'll see you all tomorrow in Edison. Keep an eye out for our Facebook Live.
Is there anything? Are you going to be at the CMMJ, or is there something?
Oh, yes. I'll be there.
Yeah, check. I assume, but I'll check it out. I'll send you a link. Make sure you have it.
Yeah, do that because I don't have it. I have to go to CMMJ hotspot.
I'll send you a link. All right, let me get on that.
All right, catch you later.
All right.
Toodaloo.
Talk to you soon.